Hello and welcome or welcome back. I'm Kathy Liska with the Center for Coaching Certification and with Coach 123. This conversation is about the transition in ICF's Code of Ethics from 2020 to 2025. Very specifically, the process for the transition started with a steering committee, and the steering committee invested a ton of time and effort. They did surveys, they had focus groups, they got input from so many different people. That input was then organized and passed on to the ethics review team. Specifically, the leadership was asked to address that and make sure that happened. So the ethics review team included a leadership team, 3 co-leaders. I was one of those, and then there are 2 others. And then also the steering committee met with the leadership team on a regular basis. The leadership team then each had a sub-team, and each of the sub-teams took on a section of the Code of Ethics to review and make recommendations. Then, when the final version was put together, it went through the formal approval process. The steering committee looked at it and approved it, and then they passed it on to the various boards in the ICF ecosystem for final approval. Outcome, our new Code of Ethics for 2025, live as of April 1st. What is in that Code of Ethics and what's different? So we're going to take a look from 2020 to 2025. In the version we've been working with since 2020, the sections in the Code of Ethics include the introduction, key definitions, ICF core values and ethical principles, ethical standards, and the pledge. The sections in the 2025 edition include the purpose instead of the introduction. ICF core values and ethical principles got moved to section 2. A new section was created, commitments for all within the ICF ecosystem. Then section 4 being the ethical standards again, this time saying specifically for ICF professionals. And section 5 is the pledge. There is also now an appendix. And in the appendix, there are key definitions of terms used in the code, and there's a glossary of other terms. Pulling out, really looking at some of those differences. In 2020, the introduction explains the code. The 2025 version has a purpose, which explains the reasons for and application of the code. The 2020 version had 13 definitions. The 2025 version has 24 definitions and 12 terms in the glossary. So increasing that to a total of 36. In the 2020 version, it referenced the core values and ethical principles. In the 2025 version, it includes the full text for the core values and the ethical principles. In 2020, there was not a section that had a commitment for everyone. In other words, non-ICF members. In 2025, there is a new section. It's called Commitments for All within the ICF ecosystem. In 2020, there were 28 standards organized in 5 sections by area of responsibility. In 2025, there are 24 standards in 5 sections organized by category. In 2020, the definitions were in section 2, and in 2025, the definitions and glossary got moved to the appendix. For learning more about ICF and the Code of Ethics, there are multiple opportunities. There are quarterly webinars. When you log into your member profile on ICF's website, there is a learning portal. And through that, you can access the ethics community of practice and others and all kinds of webinars that are happening. Additionally, on a monthly basis, there is an ethics water cooler discussion. This discussion is not recorded, it's not transcribed. It's a confidential conversation amongst the people who show up, and the intention is to have a safe space to bring questions and explore different considerations or nuances. Resources from ICF include the Code of Ethics, of course, which is available on their website, and also insights and considerations for ethics, often referred to as the I statements. They help interpret and understand the Code of Ethics. Additionally, ICF has FAQs for ethics on their website. They have a complimentary continuing coach education course on ethics. You can go to their website and take it anytime. They have an ethics hotline, and you can access that by emailing ethics@coachingfederation.org, or you can call them at 859-226-4245. And ICF has an ethics review process. Very specifically, in that process, there's an internal review board. So if somebody files a complaint, they have a process first for verifying that it is appropriately filed, that they have jurisdiction over it, and then a process for investigating and then vetting and making a determination. All of the information about their process is available on ICF's website. Thank you for your interest. This is a quick snapshot. We will have more on specific details coming soon. Come visit us at www.coachcert.com and make it a great one.